damages to be eligible to declare that for reimbursement on anything. That doesn't guarantee us anything. The state has to meet their threshold to get federal money to pay for the disaster. So we have to combine stuff. In Chapman, it was 3 months after the tornado went through before it was ever declared, because they allowed the storm system to stay. And that was a 4-day storm system that worked through the state and caused tornadoes in other areas. So they were able to pool all that damage together, and the state was able to meet their threshold. And it's been a while since we've had a big disaster that did that. And I'm even concerned about maybe the fires making that threshold, because we only looked at uninsured damages. And the 402 class is going to explain all of this to you, what damages look for, why we look at damages, how we track damages. And it's a very good class, because I get to take the class with you. And if you have a question, you can look at me and I can answer it, but I'll have other professionals right there who are teaching the class with me that are going to be able to have the knowledge to do it. And it takes knowledge of doing it over and over again to be able to teach this class good. And I think we got those instructors. So I'm excited to have this class. I think we're doing it in Salina.
Yes.
And it was at the
It's
law enforcement training center out there off of 135 where the KDOT yard is. That Waterwell Road.
Waterwell.
I think it's Waterwell.
I think that's right. Yes. Yeah. It's on March 13th at 1. So.
But I wanted you to have this, and you can go through it and just look at it. It's good language. I'm probably going to send this to John also, and he can make a copy of it for any of the commissioners he wants to send to it. But it's going to be a team thing and it also teaches that there's consequences for not opening a map. Because when we started in Chapman, the city was in their offices doing their own thing, and the county was over at the district gym doing their own thing, and we didn't know. So we were duplicating resources and things that needed to be done that were just wasting time. So it just shows the importance of getting together with the other departments and then coming up with an emergency action plan. And it lists the priorities of what needs to be accomplished first. And in a big disaster, life safety is always first. That's the search and rescue. But the number 2 thing was getting the roads open. Because if something happened, we couldn't get fire trucks. We couldn't get stuff to the area in town. So we needed to devote it to that. We made every other road one way, come up with a traffic plan. There's so many things you don't think about until you need to know.
And letting people into the community and tracking all those resources. And
porta potties.
Yes.
We ordered porta potties 2 hours into the disaster. The reason was we had 300 firefighters in town and no plumbing. So we just, and then you're giving them water and food to do their job, and now there's no place to go to the bathroom.
Natural gas lines.
Yeah, it's
tire repair.
So
there's
experience in it is a really good thing, and because you don't know what you don't know, because you don't know why you need to know it yet. And this is a good starter class for elected officials to do that. And then we're going to do the 100, 700. We're going to start offering those classes here, and other elected officials in the county are going to be able to do that, because when we did our damage assessments, we used volunteers to do that. They had no business using volunteers to do that. We have appraisers.
Yeah.
They go by those properties every 3 years. They know what they are. They know rough costs on them. And when we had Sherry here, and I had to yell at her the other day because she got another employee of ours, Sherry made a map that she handed to the search and rescue guys to go through the town the second time. The map had everybody's address on it, and they marked a percentage on all the houses of how damaged they were. So the second search and rescue that went through, an hour and a half, 2 hours after the tornado, we had almost a to the penny damage assessment of how much value was damaged in the city of Chapman. And
GIS is key.
No other search and rescue operation out of all the task force that came there had ever been handed a map with addresses on it. And that number, it told you who lived there, how many people should have been there. It was just great information. And that's because we have a really good IT department. They could still do that to this day. I'm assured of that.
Yes.
But great class. And I really hope that you guys are able to come to it. You'll really get a lot out of it. And Saline County is going to be there, and I've learned this in my travels as the president of the KEMA Association. Just because a town's big and they have a lot of money, don't mean they know how to handle stuff that's going on. They might have resources, but it's the training beforehand that happens. If that doesn't happen, it could fail. So we really appreciate you guys.
Well, thank you for what you do.
Yeah.
Thanks for putting it on.
If you have any questions about this or need any information, shoot me a text or an email and I'll be happy to get you what I have.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it. I got a meeting with my other job, but
We are gonna, it is offered other times. So if you're interested in going somewhere else and doing it, we're gonna do it around.
is there an online way to do it?
This is that you don't want to do it all.
Okay.
Because you just don't
I'm
understand.
just letting you know some other time.
Yeah, because they're doing it the day before our class in Ottawa, Kansas. So it is happening a lot because everybody's asking for it.
Well, and maybe we can also do something when you do the 100 and 700 as well. Expand that a little bit for ours.
Yeah, the 100 and 700 classes are basic classes just to explain incident command and that kind of stuff, but it's for your firefighters and those. So it is a good class to have. This class is specifically geared for elected officials and policymakers. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Cindy Mack should be in a couple minutes. So I will let you know on, I'll give you a copy of the flyers that we'll hand out next week. And Lynn, I think you're going, Chancey, Amber and I, so I'll give you a copy of this and I added a little bit for the employers. And then the 250th celebration, the official America 250 grant program page will be live shortly. So thank heavens for Jackie at the EDC and then Sarah at the Community Foundation, along with Elizabeth and Natalie and Julie. But the application link will be live on March the 1st, and it'll be on the EDC's page. So we're ready to roll on that. I think it's gonna kick off. Press release going out. It's gonna kick off very well. So I'm excited about that. And we've already had somebody that's interested in applying. So it'll be good.
Good. When's the application stop? When are we cutting that off?
When the money runs out,
Okay.
I imagine that we're gonna get quite a few applicants right off the bat because one person wants to roll out a program in April, actually. So
Well, okay, cool. Look forward to it.
absolutely.
Good morning.
Hello,
You ready?
I am.
Come on up.
Okay. Had to bring water. I'm on medication that's making me a dry mouth. So,
We've seen a lot of you lately, Cindy.
I
feel
know,
like.
I know,
We're not as,
I know.
good to see you.
So Cindy McDonald, the district court, have with me Marshall Lindsay, trial court clerk 3. So as you mentioned, we just had our department head meeting a couple of weeks ago. And then we had our meeting with all the department heads a couple of weeks ago where I gave you our 2025 case numbers. So I thought with this being my last department report to you one-on-one, I thought I'd just give you a little history of my tenure here for the past 24 years. So I was appointed as the clerk of the district court in August 2002 after working at a few different law firms in Salina for 17 years. Eunice Gay was the clerk here before me, and she had already retired in February. So I was trained by the clerks in Geary, Marion, and Morris, as well as learning from the deputy clerks who were already here in the district court in Dickinson County. So my first 16 years here were fairly uneventful. Some events over the last 8 years have made me worry about my sanity. And so I'm just hoping that for the next 6.5 months that they go smoothly. So November 2018. So from November 2018 through August of 2019, we were one of the 6 pilot counties in the state of Kansas to convert from our old case management program of full court to Odyssey. Longest 9 months of my life. Marcia, would you agree? Okay.
Absolutely.
March 2020, the state courts closed to the public due to COVID. on March 20th, 2020. I know you all probably feel the same pain. Most court employees were ordered to stay home and stay safe. The essential employees were needed for time-sensitive matters. I was processing e-filing on my laptop from home. I was the only court employee at that time to have the laptop and have access to our e-filing program. I was also calling into our phone system to check voicemail messages and returning phone calls on my cell phone to people who are calling into the court. Only emergency hearings are being heard by the judges from March 20th through the end of April. That just, to me right now, that just seems so crazy that no hearings are being held except for first appearances, some protection cases, child and needy care cases. So pretty much everything came to a standstill. Zoom hearings actually started to take place on May 4th. That's when the court actually started taking place again. The jury trials were put off until 2021. And then at that time, we had to play catch up and trying to get those jury trials heard. But new office supplies and equipment were a kiosk to take people's temperatures, plexiglass partitions, face mask, face shields, hand sanitizer, Lysol spray and wipes, latex gloves, and COVID tests. New processes, including social distancing, isolation, and quarantine. Once again, everything that you guys probably remember too. Two new permanent things, though, for the court system came out of COVID, and that is virtual hearings by Zoom, which we still do to this day. There are some pros and cons, but I think that's here to stay. I think virtual hearings will continue. And also marriage licenses are completely done online, where before people would have to physically come to the courthouse, apply for the marriage license, wait 3 days, come back, get the marriage license, bring it back. Now everything is done online. I personally like that. It's just easier that they can do everything online. February 2021, courthouse renovation. We packed up 15 people, 14 offices, 2 courtrooms, and a jury room so the courthouse renovation could begin. We hired a moving company to move all of our stuff into sterile hall and 2 storage containers on site. And then we got to unpack all of that and set up temporary offices, areas, and courtrooms in sterile hall. March 2022, after 13 months in sterile hall, we packed everything back up and had the same moving company move everything back for us into the renovated courthouse. And I will tell you, it was a lot more fun unpacking that and set up our permanent offices and courtrooms. It's a great facility, and we are happy to be back in this. October 2023, the Kansas Judicial Branch servers in Topeka were hacked, and we were without our case management system, and that included all court documents, any future hearing dates, and any balances due on court cases. As OJA dealt with trying to determine what happened, how they were hacked, and how to possibly retrieve data, the state courts, we were on our own at the beginning to try to figure out how we are going to continue with daily court business. So we were able to ask the county attorney's office and the sheriff's office for copies of any court documents that they may have. I mean, we had nothing because we are paperless. We had courtroom notes from previous hearings on our network servers, which we had to try to determine upcoming court hearings. We also had a 30-day docket that we published to our website. So we had those days that we could use for hearing dates. Our local IT director then created an Outlook calendar for us so that we could start adding hearings for our judges so we could try to prepare. We had no idea when we were going to get anything back, if we were going to get anything back. We also created folders on our network for each court case that was coming in by paper now. The judge could access those folders in the courtroom to see what documents that we had available for that case. It was also going to make it easier for us to backload those documents coming in when they finally got, hopefully, that case management program back up. So on December 15th, we were finally able to get Odyssey back up. So thankful that they were able to retrieve all data from what we started with on October 12th. But everything that happened from October 12th to December 15th we now had to backload all of that information into Odyssey. So that was all court documents, all receipts, all hearings, and then resulting them. So that was a lot of work. So we had a couple of years with no big events. October 2025, we are one of 4 pilot counties to convert our old jury software program we started to use in 2003 to the new program that's now called Jury 360. And so the other counties will start going live with that new software program next month, and they hope the entire state will be using it by September. So one of the projects that I am most proud of during my time here is the microfilm conversion. So when I got here, we had 1,025 microfilm cassettes at court files dating back to the 1880s. So the microfilm machine that we had when I started here in 2002 was already on its last legs. There weren't really any supplies or parts to fix it if it broke down. The techs really didn't know how to fix it anymore. And eventually they stopped making that toner. So we had to buy a new microfilm machine. But my goal was to actually convert all that microfilm to a PDF file, because I wanted all of those documents just to be able to be looked at on a computer and not having to have a microfilm machine that we would pop that cassette in and roll it. So each year from when I started, we had about 50 microfilm cassettes that we could afford to pull from storage and underground vaults and storage and hutch, send it off to a vendor, and they would take the microfilm and they would convert it to a PDF file. And so once we got that back from them, we'd copy it to our network folder, but then we would have to go through each file and it would just be called a case number. So in order to search it properly, we'd want a case caption on there, like Smith versus Smith. So now we are in the process of going back through those that we've all got on there. And in addition to the case number, adding the case caption. So in July of last year, the state statute changed that allow law library funds to be used to help facilitate and enhance court facilities. So that could be able to use to convert the rest of our microfilm, and that was 76 cassettes, to PDF. So our board on the library allowed us to do that. So now all of our microfilm has been converted now. So we're still in the process of changing those to make sure we get everything updated. That's going to take a while, but at least now we have no more microfilm to deal with. So huge thing. And then one last project, we had started typing up an index in an Excel spreadsheet, combining all case types, because before we had like just probate books and just domestic cases, but now we want one huge index to add both case names and case numbers. That's a huge project, and now it is Marcia's to work on.
She looks so thrilled.
So you can have it. I get this, Marcia. So any questions of me?
Well, very interesting timeline.
I mean, because I really have
going down
nothing.
memory lane.
Yeah, I have nothing new to report on since we just kind of went over, my report earlier this month. And then, like I said, my last one I'm on with you was just November. So I was thinking of things. I'm like, it might be, because you all, weren't here back that far. And, it was just interesting to me and thinking things that have happened while I've been here. And honestly, this first 16 years, I'm like, oh, this isn't that bad. And it was just like, wham. And it was just, and of course, there were personal things happening too. Like Gloria Hobson was a deputy clerk here who had been here forever,
Right.
who passed away from cancer when we were starting to convert. And then I had back surgery, and just personal things were going on within our office.
The different judges.
Who were the judges? Yes, who were the judges when you started?
So when I started, it was Judge Barker was our magistrate judge, and Judge Sexton had just started. He'd been here for a year.
Okay.
So right now it's just he, Connie, and I. When I first started, Matt White here was also here when I started, and then Nikki was also here as a probation officer when I started. So really, I've only had to go through, a couple of judges, because after Judge Barker retired, Judge Collett came on.
Just magistrate.
yeah, as a magistrate, and then Judge Collett went as a district judge in Geary, and then so Judge Hubler came on.
And then
So-
the judge from Morris County would have been for the whole district,
Oh, Judge Powers, chief judge?
Right.
chief judge.
Yeah, yeah. Judge Powers, yeah, when Judge Powers retired, then Judge Sexton became the chief judge. Yeah, yeah. But here in Dickinson, I haven't had that many. Where in Geary County, it seems like they change judges. I mean, they have a lot of retirements and because they have more judges too, so. But it's been a ride. And it's, yeah, I'm ready to just kick back and not have to check emails and not worry about microphones not working or we're out of, toilet paper in the bathroom.
Right.
or, Yeah,
All those things you'll miss.
gonna enjoy it.
Yes,
Gonna enjoy
100%, yeah, yeah.
So what are you gonna do?
Not a darn thing.
Well, I mean, you
I think.
got some travel.
Yeah, I think my husband. and I wanna
Recreational.
travel. Yeah, because he had retired from the post office after 30 years, 9 years ago. And then he started working part-time for the school district in Salina. And then he finally retired in December from the school. He just had knee replacement surgery, so it's really testing our marriage. So I'm thinking, can we really do this? Spending this much time together, but we really want to travel. So I think, when I retire, we'll probably do a lot more as far as going places and doing things and yeah.
Sounds
But I
good.
really don't want to work when I'm done, so. And Marcia,
Congratulations.
Then whatever Marcia wants to,
Yeah. Yeah.
Have some big shoes here to fit.
so you'll add one more person to that department.
Correct.
So that's gonna be in the process.
Yes, correct. Yeah, yeah, because I mean, it's going to be a lot of training too, because, if Marcia applies for my job, which we hope, and she gets it, then she'll be training somebody in her criminal part, but we're doing a lot of cross training right now. And just getting, because we still have two newish, I mean, Alex and Megan are still newish. So we're really starting to cross train them hard on some of the other departments, so.
How many in the department?
So we have 5 deputy clerks who do the casework. And then we have Connie who goes in the courtroom and then my position. I don't really do casework, but I'll fill in when necessary. So 5 clerks to do all of the work.
And Marcia, how long have you been here?
April will be 18 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun.
As I just reported.
Yes,
So,
a lot of things happen, that's for sure.
I know.
Yes.
But I've enjoyed it. So, and I really enjoyed the commissioners. I really have. You guys have been great. And that's one thing that I will miss is the people, because we really do have good people here. I mean, it's,
Only 2 administrators to deal with.
I know.
That's right.
And very good ones too. I mean, just really, and I will say this, and I've always said this, I mean, just very competent and it's such, I don't know, you just feel really good coming to work, knowing you have people to work with who understand. We might not always get what we want, but you can at least know that someone's going to listen to you and, you can talk to them and have your disagreements, but know that you're respected and you're appreciated. And that's a good thing.
That's
So,
a very good thing, because we don't always hear that in other
Yeah.
counties, that's for sure,
Yeah.
so.
Has the mediation piece, has that lightened the load or just changed a little bit of the direction or?
I think it's probably changed more of the direction because I think we're trying to do mediation more towards a beginning of a case where it's not like right before it goes to jury trial. So there's still some cases that go getting too close to a jury trial date that we've already started the process of sending out jury summons and getting it prepared. The last 2 jury trials we had already set up for the trial, and at the last minute, something's happened that we've had to change it. But those things have happened. But I think mediation has definitely helped. Because even though we have scheduled, like for March, I think we have 6 jury trials scheduled for March, we're still at least having that line of communication open. They've known, here are the talking points that the mediator has said, look at this issue and think about, you're probably not going to win this. So I think definitely help. It's just maybe not as far in advance as we would like for us to do our part as far as notifying jurors. This new jury program though, my goodness, that has saved us because this weekend when we had an emergency, we had already put the message on Friday that the jury trial was going on Monday. And so even though we told jurors to check at 5:30 the evening before, you know, for us, it's just easier to put the message on.
Right.
So it was a family emergency. So this new jury program, we can text jurors now. And so we were able to, Heather Holt, our trial court coordinator, was able to come into the courthouse on Sunday and send a text out to the jurors who had opted in to say the jury trial is going to have to be continued. And I think we had one person show up, and I think it was just they either ignored it or they didn't opt in for it. So that's a great thing about this new jury program is that
Well,
we have.
anymore with the scams.
I know.
You know, that's what I would think, if I had something like that.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
And the great thing too is that we still do have the phone in call because we'd already changed the phone in message and the website to say, due to a last minute emergency, there's no jury trial. So, and we do have jurors call us saying, hey, we got this in the mail or we got this phone call, and we can verify it's either federal court or yes, it's us or yes, it's a scam. Yeah, so.
Thank you.
All right.
For your service.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. See you next month.
Congratulations.
Get my water.
So Steve is online, Steve Wright, to present some information on the CHAMP plan
Okay.
proposal that he has brought to us. There's an email with some bullet points on it that he's going to cover. So Steve should be unmuted.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me okay?
Can you hear him?
Yeah, I can, maybe a little louder.
Steve, can you hear us?
I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me okay?
I think
Is that a little
so.
better? A little better?
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Okay, excellent. Is it okay to start now then?
Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
Okay, good morning, everybody, and thank you for allowing me to have time today to meet with the commissioners and Janelle, Marcia, and Marcus. Appreciate your help as well. And just to recap what we're talking about, last time we met was last month to initially discuss the CHAMP plan and offer it to the employees of the county. And what the CHAMP plan does is it gives added medical benefits to the employees. It's not designed to replace the major medical, but enhance the major medical that they have. It offers zero copay, zero cost, free doctor's visits, free urgent care, free preventatives, free prescription drugs, generics, a free telemed, free mental health consultations, counseling for the entire family, and there's other benefits as well. But those are really the main ones that we offer. At the same time, it will increase the pay of the employees. And then also for the county, it will save on their FICA tax because of the pre-taxed deduction of the CHAMP plan. And I think, you know, the three biggest issues with any county I'm talking to that they struggle with is saving money. How do we save money? It's always people asking for more money and needing more money, and we're looking to save, increase paychecks, and give better benefits to their employees. And the CHAMP plan does all three of those things. So with that being said, after the last meeting, we got the information that we needed from Marcia, and thank you so much, Marcia, for sending that over to actually get a proposal. Because last time we rattled off some numbers of how much pay would go up and how much FICA tax would be saving, but that was all just based on employee count. We didn't know who actually would see a pay increase. So now we have hard numbers to go over with. And so out of 152 total employees that the county has, full-time employees, 134 of those employees are positively impacted, meaning their paychecks would go up for the CHAMP plan and qualify for the CHAMP plan. The total FICA savings, the payroll tax savings to the county yearly would be $72,195. The total pay increase to your employees would be $196,056. That's without the county having to increase their salary by a dime. And as an average, it's $124 net increase in pay a month on average. That's a total positive financial impact to the county of $268,251 a year. When you include the increase in pay that you're not having to pay and the savings in the FICA tax. We have a virtual 91% participation rate in enrolling in this plan, with a virtual 100% retention. Typically, the only time people get off the plan is when they've have been fired, obviously, or quit and have moved on. Once employees get on this plan, they don't tend to get off it, mainly for the main reason is that people live within their means. And if you give them an extra $125 a month, they're going to find somewhere to put it, and then they don't want to give that up. But also that they love the benefits. They love the added benefits. Just the sheer use of the benefits alone is going to save them on average about $720 a year in co-pays and deductibles. So there's an additional savings to the employees of just not having to pay for a doctor's visit or having to pay for an urgent care visit. The other thing I wanted to point out too is that this will typically decrease the chances of having a rate increase in next year's quote on your major medical for your county. Because the number one reason major medicals have rate increases is usage on the plan. CHAMP is going to offset a lot of those uses. So we typically see zero or very little rate increase with the major medicals that are attached to these plans. Last thing I want to point it out too is, I'm sure you're aware of the Kansas Association of Counties. They were one of the first ones that we enrolled on this. They actually had 100% participation in the plan. They love the plan. They don't promote CHAMP because they can't compliance-wise, they can't promote the CHAMP, but they do enjoy it, and they're more than willing to take a phone call from any one of you if you have any questions on how it went, how did the process go, are they enjoying the benefits. I know that Bruce there is more than willing to take a phone call from anybody if you'd like to ask him about his experience with it and the rolling out of it. You guys have any questions?
Marcia, once you had a chance to review the information, do you have any insights that we should be aware of, or?
No, I just want to clarify for employees that may be listening that this is not an increase to their hourly rate, that their increase that they'll see on their paycheck is because of the pre-tax deduction that will increase their take-home pay. So I just want to make sure that's clear. Steve has answered a lot of questions. We have talked to KAC about their experience. Steve also shared with us that Johnson County has recently signed up, Jefferson County, thank you, signed up. And so we actually called and talked to them to get their experience and what they have done with the plan. They just got on it starting January 1st as well. I'll be honest, their proposal is very, I see the benefit, and this, the county will realize FICA tax decrease and employees will, I see that benefit. But the numbers that he's providing is if we have 100% participation. And this is, I think, going to be a voluntary benefit for our employees, additional offering to them. So what the actual number to the county will vary depending on how many actually enroll in the plan. So
It's probably, I don't know that you could really extrapolate quite this far, but would this potentially impact some of their Social Security benefits fractionally?
Yeah, that's a question I don't know and don't have answers to. But yes, I think if an employee has concerns, they need to talk to a tax professional to see how these, what other pre-tax deductions they have and how this may or may not impact their taxes. That was a suggestion.
If
FICA's not social security tax.
No, but,
I can answer that.
okay, yeah, please, Steve. Yes.
I can answer the social security one. If you know anything about social security, there, your social security retirement max is based on a 30-year average of what you make. And so even though the pre-tax deduction is going to reduce the actual total amount that they're going to show for these years that they're on the CHAMP plan, it's minimal. There's been studies, drawn out. We have bean counters that counted it out. They're going to make a heck of a lot more money now by being on the CHAMP plan and having that pay increase now than they are going to have maybe a $5 or $10 reduction in their Social Security at the end of the day. Does that make sense?
It does. And I think the safeguard that Marcia mentions, that if someone has concerns, they can always talk to a tax person. And
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah, Steve, I've got a question, and it's kind of from your presentation the other day, I got a little bit confused because this plan is to help and reduce the costs for insurance, but at the same time, the benefits that you're showing on the front 2 pages is benefits for like McDonald's and Arby's and places where we probably shouldn't even be eating because that's a health hazard there. So I have a mixed signal of what are you really representing? Good health or bad health, and we will help you with the bad health.
Yeah, that's a good point. Those are just some of the well-known companies. Like if we show that, Frank's Landscaping that has 20 employees on there, everybody would go, who is that? But we show some known names, Amazon and Harley Davidson, and we have some other blue chip companies. But ironically, we did just sign up Buffalo Wild Wing as well. So that's another not so healthy promoter. But it's not like we're saying, hey, go to these places. We're saying if your employees would like to be healthier, these are some areas you can get.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's the other side of this. If you read their plan, they indemnify themselves. That's a pretty big one for me, guys. That means, in other words, we're not on the hook for the IRS. If the IRS decides that this code is invalid and no longer applicable, that's pretty big for the liability issue for the county. I'm looking at this from a liability issue. I told Steve the same thing. Try to limit your liability when you do business. That's how everybody does business. The county shouldn't be any different. In fact, I think we do a lot of training to limit just that. So that gave me a little assurance that it can't come back. I wholeheartedly agree with you, Marcia. It is participation. It sounds great because we're assuming everyone's going to participate. So, and then it sounded like, Steve, you and Janelle and Marcia talked about maybe presenting this at an employee meeting at some point, maybe
Right.
before we.
Yeah, we hadn't told it to Steve yet, but I was going to invite him
Okay.
to do that.
Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're fine.
But maybe a little, before we hop into this, a little more laying the plan out for everybody and explaining
The
it.
employees will be the advocates then if they have a better understanding of what's going on. So we thought we'd utilize the Safety and Wellness Committee to present the information to, and
Sorry,
that,
I got ahead of you.
you're fine. So that's actually going to be March the 10th at 8:15.
Well, if he could plan at 8:30, so we could start
8:30.
the meeting and then have him. present.
True. So Steve, does that possibly work for you?
March the 10th at 8:30
Mhm.
would be when I would get on.
Yes.
And that committee has a mix of employees and department heads on it, so it's a good mix of
Right.
That would-
representation of everyone, someone from each department will be there.
Yeah, that would be perfect. That would be perfect. And
I
So
will
just to
send you a calendar invite and a Zoom link for that.
you'll send it to me, or do you want me to
I will
send it to
send-
you?
No, I'll send it to you.
Okay, yeah. Perfect.
You, go ahead, Steve, sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say about the process is we make it as simple as possible, and we aren't going to like shove this down people's throats. It is elective. They can opt out if they don't want it. Nobody has to be on the plan. We're not going to have. I mean, KAC was the exception to the rule. One, they're a small group there, but we hardly ever have 100% participation. You're going to have some naysayers that just aren't going to want to do anything you want to do, and that's fine. Sometimes they end up going around the water cooler later on, and everybody's telling them about, hey, yeah, we actually did have our paycheck go up. Bruce was shocked. I told Bruce at KAC, your paycheck's going to go up. We showed him the proposal. We showed them an example of the checks. And still, when he went live, he called me up and he goes, it's true. It really happened. My paycheck did go up. And so, you know, there are going to be some naysayers, but they can also opt in after the fact if they change their mind. Same as if somebody says, I don't want to watch a 2-minute video a month. It's just too much to make an extra $125. They can opt out of it at any time if they want as well. We're going to work diligently and closely with Janelle and Marcia and anybody else that we need to have this be as positive as possible, to be as information, you know, that they're aware of what's going to happen and that it's a good thing for them to have and offer to them, so that when we do have the enrollment, it goes out as smooth as possible.
Okay. I was gonna say, I think you're right on Social Security. I wasn't planning on getting Social Security myself, so that's what they tell me, so I'm not worried about it. 401 is what I put my money into, but anyway, no, but that is a concern to bring up.
You might have to be 80.
Yeah, I know.
When you get it.
Well, that's what my tax guy said that this year, actually. He's like, I don't know about Social Security, man.
And that's what I tell new hires, because there's information from even capers that say, especially these capers 3, that Social Security and capers aren't giving me enough. And so I give them more information on our deferred comp plans to plant that seed, especially in the.
That's where I was looking at this, Marcia, going, well, if a smart individual would look at this the right way, and if they end up opting in, they get a cut, you should take your money and go and put that into an account. This is what you should be doing. Of course, I'm going to say most people aren't going to do that, but times are tough. But that's how I looked at it a little bit. It could be an opportunity to put your money in another.
Yeah, so it's about education, just like that.
Exactly.
Explain it. I think explaining it, because it is kind of confusing, because there is an in and an out on the paycheck, and so that's very difficult to explain. So there will need to be a lot of education how this works for our employees.
Well, let's do it right. Sounds like Steve's willing to join the meeting, and you guys will report back after that and let us know how that went.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Steve.
All right. Thank you, guys. Hope you have a great day.
You too. Thank you, Marcia.
So there's be like 15 people working to pay into Social Security for every one person that had a benefit, and then it started dropping to half of that, and then 3 people working to 1. And I think now I don't know if it's upside down or 1.5 people working for person.
According to my tax guy, according to
Well,
the
anyway,
funds, yeah.
It got completely out of balance.
The way I'm told is they're gonna increase the age. Is what they're gonna.
Yeah.
Right.
Or decrease the benefits.
Yeah.
Are you guys saying that you can go into 401 without going into a Social Security account if you're an employee?
You can have one.
No, I mean, do away with your Social Security account and go right into 401 instead of putting anything in the Social Security.
No, we cannot do that.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, there's a law.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. That's how it gets in there.
There's a couple of occupations that you can refuse to pay in
It's just-
Social Security, but
To be
once
clear on
you
this deal,
clear out, you're out.
This is it's a section 125 tax break of the FICA taxes on the employer side and the employee side. The employee is essentially getting the money back they would have put into their.
Right, yeah.
So this will help us too.
It will help us too. Now, there's still going to be
Gonna
there's
benefit.
still a fee associated that the county will have to pay to manage that, and a small amount out of the employee's paycheck as well to cover the program cost.
Not everyone is gonna be positively impacted out of this deal.
Because you're the finance guy, does that make sense to you?
From the finance side, yeah, it is showing a significant benefit, at least on the employee and the employer side. So I see some benefit there. Overall, I feel like Steve's been able to answer a lot of our questions. There are some concerns still, and Aaron's still reviewing some information just to make sure that we cover all of our bases legally. But from the finance side, what I'm seeing so far, it does make sense. And I think it could potentially just be an added benefit. And I like the idea that our employees have the opportunity to opt in or out. So it's not going to be forced on them, but they have a choice. And I think that could be a really just an additional benefit for our employees and help the county to potentially save some costs as well. So,
Yeah, as long as they don't switch in and out frequently, because then HR is going to have some issues.
It's gonna create a problem, and we'll walk through that when we talk to them about that, so.
I did ask this question. We can, if this isn't working,
Mhm.
we can cancel the contract in a month.
We can,
We
yes.
can be done. We can walk away and forget this ever happened. I'm with Marcus. I want to know what the counselor comes back with. I want to make sure our bases are checked, but to me, it's an offered benefit we can offer if everything.
If it works out, yeah. And Aaron will also review the plan documents that you would sign as well, and we don't have those yet. I wanted to wait till we presented to the safety and wellness and walk through that, because again, the employees are gonna be the advocates for this, so, and that's why we have the safety and
I don't
wellness.
think you're gonna hear any argument from commission here to make sure we're doing things right.
But I do have questions.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's another subsidy to your insurance that you have now.
Yes.
Many times when you have an insurance claim, they ask if you're carrying any other insurances.
Mhm.
Sometimes if you do, like more than one or two or three,
Right,
they get a little excited.
right.
Is that going to have an impact on
It's
that?
not, it's a preventative health plan.
Yeah, no, I got that.
It's not an insurance policy.
No.
I guess
In
there's a
addition to what,
distinction there, yes, yeah.
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 You ever have that, two insurances?
Yeah, I
for
do,
example?
but yeah, it's not, like I said, it's no coverage for health and plans or policies.
Yeah, it's preventative, so if you are participating in this program, then
Okay.
it should,
Okay.
right, like, it's like your well man check, your well woman check.
Yeah,
things like
okay,
that.
I'm
So
sorry.
we had this before,
Yeah.
as a company. I don't know about the county, but, it was a wellness program.
Right.
But instead of, the way this is administered, it was actually a penalty is what would end up happening. So if you did 10,000 steps a day, we'd give you $50 off your policy a month. And so that was, they had programs like this before on the insurance side too.
Okay.
And that was one of my biggest things I brought up with them. I said, we have one of these
Right.
at my company
And
and
nobody was
nobody participates.
Using it, right, right.
So I'm like, it's great to have it,
Mhm.
but if no one's participating, it's pretty much
And
useless.
we've had it here at the county with some of the other insurance plans that we have had. So, but again, it has to be up to the employee to participate in. It's to their benefit.
Yeah. Well, the medical insurance now is really complicated. It's almost like not having anything anymore because they don't want to pay anything,
It is.
so.
And you have to ask, as an employee, you have to ask a lot of questions, not only of your doctor's office, your eye doctor, dentist, but of your insurance company, of the carrier, of the broker, and get
Yeah,
educated or become educated on that. So that's to your benefit as well.
yeah.
Something else they brought up is you can, if you do this program, you can kind of tell them some of your ailments and it will start to give you a plan of
Yeah.
here's how you can. That's that in the essence, I know we're talking about dollars and cents, but that is the goal of this program is to try to help people make themselves better.
And that's why I brought up the subject of,
Yes.
you want us to make better, you're gonna sell it. Let's go have all these benefits for
Right.
all these eating places we probably shouldn't go. We all love. We shouldn't go, so.
Well, maybe their employees need it.
Yeah. Well, they sure could. Yeah.
But we kind of put Steve through the ringer a little bit. We were trying to ask a lot of different questions that we know we're gonna get.
Yeah.
Hopefully it
Well,
was.
And I'm sure he's been asked those questions.
He has.
Sure, they just spend it.
Okay, this is separate, but Jennifer, I noticed Mark Lombardo's name's misspelled.
I was thinking that now that he signed on.
So do we, well, I saw it before, no, but anyway,
Well, I didn't know that.
should we just put you just correct it on there, or do you want to retype a different one? She put there's a K in there instead of a C.
Yeah, on the minute. So do you want to?
I can fix it.
Oh, did you?
No, I will go fix it.
Okay.
Okay. We might re-sign that thing, so.
We'll talk about procurement policy for the rest of our time here. Our procurement policy 2002 is the last time,
2006.
2006.
Mhm.
In other words, it's maybe a little outdated. And I think the whole idea here is just to update our procurement policy, be a little more modern. I don't think, well, we can go through some stuff if you guys had a chance to read through this, and Janelle will give you an opportunity to maybe call some stuff out if you want. I do think we're not gonna answer all this today.
No.
Me personally, I'm gonna take this home and really comb through it. I've already started that anyway. You know, for example, non-competitive purchasing, you know, I thought about setting that number down a little bit lower, just to give you some particular areas. I also wanted to incorporate or discuss, I shouldn't say that. I would like to discuss incorporating a local bid allowance, which I think we do have in here already.
Mhm.
Those are the big things I was looking at when I looked at our original procurement policy. And I guess the reason I asked Janelle to consider redoing it and bringing it to the commission.
You know, and sometimes if one's bid is fractionally higher, depending on what it happens to be, but for example, if it's a vehicle or it's something we have to drive a ways to have it serviced or maintenance compared to something local. I mean, so sometimes there's other variables that would not show up in the bid, but would give us reason,
Right.
pause before we just give it to a low bid if it's close.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I think I'd like to build some of that in. You know, in my opinion, spending money locally as much as we can helps the local economy. I mean, at the end of the day, it's their money. We're giving it back, in my opinion, is what we're doing. And I think we should incentivize that and make that a priority if possible. Obviously, it's not possible in everything. We don't make steel here in Dickinson, but I think there's a lot of stuff we can do that on. I know the sheriff's department, for example, buys their grills from Thunderstruck right here in Abilene. This is an example. Other brush guards, sorry. Maybe you guys don't have anything right off the bat. I would encourage us to review this and come back with maybe some concerns or stuff you'd like to look at. Thanks, guys.
Well, Jennifer, I don't think it happened with us, but anyway, these were just open, so they're all dried out. So I don't know if you want to.
That's the ones I gave you too. I'm very responsible.
We're not the only ones that are in here, though. We're not the only ones that are in. I'm saying I'm very confident.
I'll get you some new ones.
Maybe we need to keep them in the drawer.
Yeah.
Oh,
My candy's there and it's safe, so.
but I love this K-Camp pin because it's got a flashlight.
It's not.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
My God. My
That's
kid got a hold of that.
Say, oh.
My kid got a hold of that and it's dead now.
Oh, really?
He left it off.
It's just fun.
Ron brought snacks for you guys too.
Compliments to the folks in Arrington there. Nice to kind of step on the lots.
Oh, it's in the camping. I can run and grab it. It's in the fridge.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta stand up for a couple minutes.
Oh, good job, Janelle.
Oh. Thank
Do you
you.
feel like you're riding a roller coaster every time a new commission comes in?
Sometimes.
Whoa, here we go again. There we go.
Oh, man.
Marcus is laughing. Bear with us, Marcus.
Usually this big. I'm just listening, trying to take it.
Yeah, no.
It's always a lot.
You guys have got so much more information that when we see things, we make a decision on just what we kind of see, and it's not the whole picture a lot of times.
Yeah, it's, like you said, there's so many topics to cover,
Yep.
different times. So each week, it's like you're shifting so quickly to the next thing on to the next Thursday.
Yeah.
And it's, it's another public meeting, which that's part of this. I understand. That's why we're still live right now. But it's, when you're shifting gears so quickly to change into something else, you're just always looking at about, 20 things at the same time usually. And so,
I feel like
but that's all business, all work. And
I suppose
I know everybody's busy.
the op tempo is high sometimes.
It is.
That's kind of,
Yeah.
but
That's what keeps it exciting. Though. You get in here, the days sure fly. I will tell you that. There is never a dull moment. So
you said it, man. at the end of these meetings, even though they're sometimes fun, you're just totally exhausted. You feel like you've run 100 miles and you've not moved an inch.
I know that exact feeling.
You know, you just-
That's a very good way to describe it.
Oh, my.
I've mentioned before, it feels like you're on the hamster wheel.
Oh,
Because you're running, but you're not physically.
no.
But you just feel like you're just.
Yeah, I tell my wife, I just, let me process everything. It takes a little bit. And the next day after you get to thinking of everything, then you can put it, you can kind of do okay. It just, when you have a lot of information like that, it's boom.
These ones have lids.
Well, there you
Did you
go.
get, was it yours or his?
That was his. Yeah, I'm not that important.
You want one?
No.
I'll get you one. These
I'm
ones
good.
have lids.
Huh? Oh, well, I just threw the house ones away.
Was it you and him that they dried out?
Yeah, I put them in the trash, but they were the clippers.
Yeah, we won't give you those again.
Oh.
You need a lid. Those are nice too, though. Those.
Lynn, what do you think?
Well, I had a fun day at Fort Riley.
Well, tell me about it. I don't really miss Fort Riley, but tell me.
Oh, was that yesterday, your tour?
Yeah.
Oh.
How do you like it? Have you seen the new hospital?
Over the top, you know?
Have you been to the new hospital up there?
So that we had a tour of the
Yeah, it's
hospital.
pretty nice. Yeah, I haven't been in it, but yeah.
But they have a simulation room for their,
They're training, they're
on
yeah,
the, on
up
the
on the hill?
babies and the mothers and so on. So you
Oh,
walk
wow.
in and there's this mannequin with the baby. And
Oh,
they go through all this stuff.
oh, Lynn.
Yeah.
So if they have to wheel someone across the hall and go into surgery immediately, and if,
Yeah.
and then the mayor from Junction City,
Yeah.
Gary Gessinger was her dad. He
Oh,
used to be in charge of the hospital. He was a state rep. She's mayor now. But when she had her baby, they had 8 beds and there were curtains between each of the beds, and 7 of them were filled the night that she had her baby.
oh, wow.
And so then, of course, the mother and baby are together. Oh, yeah. Probably, yeah. But anyway, but she just said she couldn't wait to go home.
Oh, I bet so.
And now they have these rooms and
Good training.
the dad can stay in with the mom.
Have you been up on the hill and seen the sim center, the training center up there? The tank stuff and all that?
Yeah,
This one's
That's something else, isn't
I
it?
got a call into a Brad.
Oh, you was up on the artillery.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
Western Indiana.
sure.
And then
Yeah.
this is
Yeah. Oh.
insurance. This is help. I can add this for next week if you don't know this.
Wow. Was it similar?
Don't know how you guys all here.
No, it's a
See,
new trip.
where do you see that?
Well, 52. So I assume it's just.
Oh,
a new truck
okay.
we bought.
How you doing today?
Whatever it is, what it is. I mean, if he's an ambulance.
Yeah, good, good.
Whatever the dream is.
There you go.
For next week.
Well, good to see you there.
I'm good today.
You busy?
The question is, how do we know this guy?
Three County Fire Department.
He, like,
That's your new.
Oh, my.
yeah, I was trying to.
You guys do, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand when there's a fire ban going on.
And it's not only when the fire's over.
It's huge, it is.
A lot more to go on in there, yeah.
I was gonna tell him user error, but.
Let's see, I went out on 4 calls in 1 year. I live east.
It is. Well, that's probably, yeah, you guys are really busy. Yeah.
Hi, good morning.
So, yeah, other than that, I mean, it's fun.
Uh-huh.
I enjoy driving the fire trucks. Those are, that's the cool thing.
There you go.
I do for you.
Oh, you guys got good equipment.
Yeah, when I screen all that.
That's what we were talking about this morning.
I use it on,
Oh, it's,
I'll use it on this, honestly, I'll go, I keep them.
And then how the obsolete things so quickly.
right.
You have it for a while, you think, oh, wait a minute, we can't use it anymore because it's guidelines.
About maybe getting me an
I know they
iPad.
were talking, I haven't been in the fire department that long, but the one thing I'm talking about is, like what we do call the Dickinson County. Because I live right off of the Dickinson County Geary area.
Oh, okay.
Curtis Creek. And like, if there's a fire in Dickinson County and we get called, does our stuff link up?
Oh,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying, like,
Most of the time link up pretty good.
as far as I know,
Okay, yeah,
it's actually kind of why I'm over here today.
yeah. You know our chairman, Kenny Robinson?
I will be meeting him soon, I'm sure.
Yeah. Then Peterson?
Brown.
Richard Brown.
Nice to meet you, Richard.
Nice to meet you, Richard.
Have our roller. Did I pick up your commissioner? You are my mom's commissioner, actually.
Oh, I thought maybe you were a commissioner.
No, I'm not a commissioner.
Well, hey, I hope it's all right.
Packers fan.
Yeah, I'm a Packers. I mean, it could be
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah.
Could be a Cowboys fan.
That's true.
Yeah. So, actually, I think you probably got an email from my mom recently. I know you're a busy guy and all that. About they had a fire about 3 years ago at the property next to hers, and nothing's being done about it. The property owner originally passed away, and nobody knows where anybody's at. And I'm starting to get very concerned about the stuff that's on that property.
Is the structure partially in place or?
It's, I mean, I got pictures.
Oh, that's what we need to see.
Yeah.
Is it exactly how they left it?
Well, yeah, we'll leave it at that. They added some stuff, I think. They took stuff from inside the place and pulled it out. Nobody, because it's unlivable. You can't even.
Was it taken over by?
Rats.
Oh, yeah. It is
You
formed.
don't need vagabond.
Not that I know of.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm very concerned about not only the blight of it, but it's all groundwater.
Yeah.
And there's a car that's burned out. This was April 23rd of 23. And when I talked to the hazmat folks over there, there's like,
Yeah.
they just kind of shrugged it off
The
because
health department should be able to.
That's what I would be thinking.
my concern is if this stuff, whatever's there, seeps into the groundwater, especially with that car sitting there, I don't know what's in that thing. There's paint buckets, there's gas cans, there's just, every time it rains, it takes those particles off of everything and puts it in the ground too.
So how far is this from the city limits of Solomon? It's outside city limits.
Yeah, we're.
This is over, you know where Curtis Creek is? It's
Yeah.
Curtis Creek Estates.
Oh, really?
It's on Tree Lane, so it's like way out over by the lake.
Oh, you're way up there.
Yeah, Curtis Creek Estates.
Oh, Curtis, up on the creek, up north on the creek?
Well, you're talking over at northeast of Chapman. Where you, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Where the
So you
lights-
got
When
this-
you said
yeah.
his district and he lives
Yeah.
in Solomon, I thought.
Oh, okay,
Where
Solomon
Solomon is it? So,
Yeah, so,
No,
so
yeah.
Curtis Creek is up Milford Lake. That's.
yeah, it's
Oh, yeah, I know.
it's up there.
I know from my
The light area.
Yeah, Elida area, yeah.
I know, but-
Right outside the Elida area, because I live in Elida.
Yeah.
I actually drove up, I didn't know we had the lake in our county. So like, what, and then I go, holy moly, I didn't know that.
There's 3
We
cemeteries.
got lakefront property, man.
Uh,
Well, the state doesn't.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So that.
You wanna see these? I mean, this thing is.
Yeah, I'm just really concerned about what's gonna happen, the health aspects of
Yes,
this.
I looked over his shoulder.
No,
I think that's.
my mom's not, my mom's 77 years old, she's not gonna come in here and, I'm not gonna drag her over here when I can do it.
Well, the other thing is, I mean, we're saying we
house.
want people to convert, things like that. And
Well, the other
I
thing
mean,
is,
you know,
it's a smaller lot, so my understanding, and I may be misunderstanding some of the stuff, but my understanding is it's because of the size of the lot. If they cleaned it up, you can't build on it because of the size.
Yeah, that's still. needs to be cleaned.
Yeah,
Is it on Tree Lane?
yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is. So we are aware of it. The family has been notified. The woman that owned it died.
Yeah, I know Angie died, I
Yep.
know that, the son's in prison,
Yeah,
the sister in Oklahoma wants nothing to do with it.
yes.
And I'm starting to get a little concerned about some of the health and, the health
Absolutely.
aspects of it. There's a car sitting there.
hmm
And I know that the car before the fire ran, so you got you got all the fluids.
Exactly.
And I'm very concerned about it getting into the groundwater.
So our planning and zoning person is aware of it. He has reached out to our county counselor. I will remind him to reach out to Aaron and start our process, what we need to do as well. So yes.
I mean, because of this, and we were just talking about, because of the size of it, nobody can really build on it.
Right.
So if they're able to get it cleaned up, I mean, I wouldn't have a problem.
You're the neighbor right there, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't have a problem mowing it just to keep the weeds and the varmint and the snakes. And
The,
A couple other properties.
Thanks for bringing it to our attention.
yeah.
Janelle will be able to help you walk. Janelle's our county administrator.
My
Okay.
card, and you probably talked to Martin or Tim in the past,
I
perhaps,
talked to somebody over at
Environmental Services.
Environmental Services. Yeah, I talked to the person over there,
Remind me your name?
Richard Brown.
Okay.
I just don't
Typical
know.
Brown, or is that BRAUN or BROW?
The typical old school Brown, BROWN.
What's your phone number?
719.
Oops, 7.
BRAUN.
64?
Just corrected.
I can hear.
I just didn't want to drag my
What
mom.
was our mistakes?
I'm not dragging her over here for this, but I can.
ARC, short for Mark.
Lane property.
I don't, maybe.
Let me get a hold of Tim and remind him.
What is wrong?
There's- they-
I didn't catch
Yes.
that. Oh, man.
I threw in Mickey Mouse once. He
Takes a
goes,
while.
I should have texted you.
I saw it.
I actually don't read these until I get on our website and look up what we talked about.
Sister came out.
Mhm.
My mom said somebody was home, figured out it's just.
Fast forward.
Like years ago. And I remember correctly, the Senate.
You want to see YouTube?
What's up? What's that?
You gotta get better. Karen,
On the sub, you can't do
Let's see our boy.
it.
We used to have a full picture, but you can't, you just get a little one now.
With the snakes and.
You can't blow it up.
Especially the
IVR, you know, that you're talking about.
I think they should just.
Unfortunately, we don't have.
We don't really.
No, I think it should be more on you guys.
What am I saying? Wolverine.
So we're gonna do it like New York does it. How they did it.
I need to talk to Natalie today. What's the?
Let me get a hold of him, have him look at it, find out where he's at in the process.
Is in charge of helping soldiers when they
They
get
said
here.
that there's still a process.
Right,
Takes a while
yeah,
for
I
that
agree.
piece, you know, too, so.
Because I mean, I'll maintain as far as mowing, I got no problem mowing the place, but right now, I'm afraid to even talk about it, which because some of those pictures are actually.
Especially.
Yeah. You want this back?
No.
I'll make sure a lot of it is.
Yeah, I've got copies of it,
Okay,
but I just want to come over
I
and
appreciate you.
get with y'all, because I'm getting concerned,
Oh, 100%.
especially that car. I mean, I know there's gas in there,
Right.
I know there's paper and some oil and all that, if it gets
It's on a
into
paper,
groundwater,
the legislature's.
her property's useless.
Exactly.
Funds that were supposed
And
to-
it costs quite a bit to drill a well.
Yes, it does.
We obviously want to keep taxpayers in Dickinson County,
Yes.
so,
Yeah.
all right,
No,
well, I appreciate y'all's
understand. No,
attention.
thank you very much.
Well, I guess I'm done. I'm gonna head back to the get some work done. Good meeting y'all. Appreciate y'all's attention.
Appreciate the information.
Are you
Glad
glad
you
you
came
came?
here.
None
I'm
of
a
it.
transplant.
Okay.
I retired off of Fort Riley about 8 years ago, and I didn't really want to stay here, but I got tired of living like a gypsy. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just buy a house here.
Sure.
The only thing I miss is my mountains. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say, but thanks for.
8 hour
moving here.
drive.
yeah, well, that's right.
6 hour and you're there.
Well, see, I could get to Denver in 6.
Yeah.
Thanks for choosing to live here. We appreciate it.
You know, I like it. I mean, it's, you know, I'm near the base. I'm working on posts now, helping the soldiers out. And
There's a lot of people in our county that do that. A lot more than I ever realized.
so when you look at the tax base, the Dickinson County taxes are less than Geary County. Geary County is one of the higher counties in this state, apparently tax wise.
Yes, it
as far
is.
as property tax.
And Riley.
It kills me. I wish y'all would incorporate my area. Just get a LIDA. You know? I'll even stay on the fire department. I'll drive the weed. But you know, but I noticed that because it's like my mom lives 2 miles away from me, and her taxes are quite a bit lower than mine. But the thing that she's saying, you know, the other thing that she was looking at when it comes to this property is her property taxes keep going up, and she's living next to a dump now.
Yeah.
So something, and it's unfortunate, you know, we have to look at reality. When something happens to her, I don't need
Well, I'll
a
give you a little
house.
more incentive. We cut our taxes next year by 7%.
She'll like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, because if it comes down to it, you know, I don't need her house. If something happens to her, I'm going to sell it. I'm going to want to live next to that.
Is this adjacent to that?
It's, yeah, we share a fence line.
Sure. Yeah, so.
And it's like when I mow
Maybe
it,
once it's you could buy them. Well,
it's possible. I mean,
I don't
anything.
know if it
Security landfill?
if it would help with the footprints.
What?
No, I don't think so.
Is it one of our old ones?
It would, I mean, you know, it would be so to sit there and just be too convenient.
Yeah.
Because the guy that lives on the other side, he just went up there recently.
Way.
He owns
Yeah, way back, but I think that's what
acres.
Manchester.
That covers the whole.
Oh,
So he owns he had a huge area to mow and, you know, maintain, but that came with the property that he bought. He sold that, he got that house about 3 or 4 months ago. But this property, because that property and my mom's property are so small, that according to what I'm reading, if something happened, you're not able to build a house on either one of them. So you're losing a tax base because you can't build on them.
They could combine the properties and.
Right.
And then there's one
lot.
There's one across the road, down the road across, it's a vacant lot. The guy wanted to build something, he still can't because it's the size of the property. So there's a tax case that, you know, if there's a way to grandfather them in, I don't know.
What she's telling you.
Oh, you want to do it fast? No, last time I tried to do it
Start our
fast.
official meeting in less than a minute.
All right, well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bringing that to our attention.
Well, have a good one.
You too.
Don't bring that up in my comments, but I sat next to General Roan yesterday.
Mhm.
And I said, you know, it'd be great to have you come over for a windshield tour.
Mhm.
And so he called his chief of staff over and said, we need to arrange a windshield tour for Dickinson County.
Okay.
And they're deploying. So April.
April, okay. Okay.
And yeah, so I was like, well,
So windshield tour like truck or helicopter?
what do you
Oh,
want?
you want to ride the helicopter?
Yeah, I could ask him. It's time.
Oh, yeah. Call this meeting to order. If we don't rise for the flag salute.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'm just gonna say it. I don't think we've ever had nobody in here before. This is the first one. It's just us.
They are online though.
They are online. Okay. Well, this is gonna be easy. Approval agenda. We do not have any official agenda items today other than the reports, so no approval needed there. Moving down, unless we need additions to the agenda.
Well, I'll just make the motion, we approve the agenda.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Consent agenda minutes were provided in the February 19th meeting. We did have a correction, I believe we all signed off on. Payroll, $454,817.93. And abated tax of $3,000. Are these right, based off what you gave me?
No, you have to add the two something to it. Hang on. Let's do this out of that.
We had
So after this was.
two more
the agenda,
abatements,
we
right?
have two to add on.
We had two more abatements, yeah, and I believe it's gonna
No,
be
just one more, baby.
just one, okay. What's the amount, do you know?
This one's okay.
Okay.
So 5,490 and 84 cents.
Thank you. We have a slight amendment to the abated tax. Do I need to bring that into motion to put that on the agenda? I probably do.
Oh, I think you just
Just
add
say
Read it right.
the number that we go ahead and
Minutes, okay, good point.
approve the consent agenda with the addition of putting an additional 5,490.84, you said?
Correct.
Just a correction, not additional, just correct.
Oh,
correction.
correcting it to that amount,
Correct.
Corrected
not
amount.
adding it.
No, the total is that, no.
Yeah, they paid a tax.
So changing that number to 5,490.84.
Correct. So for the record, for abated tax, we're at $5,490.84. Do I have a motion to approve?
And that was my motion.
Oh, that is your motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Commissioner comments, community reports. Oh, we'll start with Lynn. Sound like you had some.
Can I just say something?
Oh, sure.
Should we add that we added the medical, the health insurance? Because you've signed that, but I don't have it in the consent. Did you want to,
Signed what?
What health insurance?
that one that you thought was an abatement?
Yeah, that's what I was asking about, the two.
That's not an abated tax.
What's
That's
this?
health insurance.
Is that the new synergy bill?
Yeah,
Okay, then we need to add it to the,
okay.
so this would
Also,
not be payroll, but would be a wire?
yes, it's a wire, health insurance wire.
Technically speaking, we need to strike the last motion and go back. If you guys want to be real.
I'll withdraw the motion.
Okay.
Seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No, you're fine. Minutes for February 19th meeting provided in your packet. We had one amendment, payroll of $454,817.93. Clairvoyance, the amendment on the minutes was a correction of name spelling.
Mhm.
abated tax of $5,490.84, a wire for health insurance to the, what you call it,
New synergy?
New Synergy of $187.15. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We got through that.
Yep.
We got through that.
I think you need to add that, so, yeah,
Sorry, I'm all about proceeding.
problem.
Lynn, would you start us off on committee, commissioner reports?
Okay. A couple of things. Earlier this morning, I attended the Military Affairs Council breakfast, and they gave an update and talked about leadership at Fort Riley. Yesterday, they had what they referred to as a Fort Riley Day. So they invited congressional staff as well as some elected officials and community partners from the region. And basically, we spent the entire day at Fort Riley. There were some that actually showed up early at 6 o'clock. I did not participate in that part, to do a workout with the general and his leadership team. And they do that pretty much every morning. Then also, they went ahead and gave us a briefing on all the things that are taking place at Fort Riley. And for example, they have a group now that has been deployed, that is returning. They're getting ready to send another brigade out to the National Training Center at Fort Irwin on the Mojave Desert. So once that happens, you have a lot of people that are, sometimes families don't always stay there at Fort Riley, but as soon as they get back, they're going to deploy. And so that really, changes a lot of things over there. The other thing they told us, which I thought was interesting, the impact is $2 billion with a B, $2 billion is what Fort Riley is for this area. And then with the multiplier effect, if you put in there, it's over 4 billion. There's also like $200 million worth of contracts going through this year. So a lot of contractors and so on are doing a lot of work there. They went ahead also, and one of the biggest things that surprised me is they had some people that all they are doing is practicing drones. And they have obstacle courses, and those drones can extend out to 4 kilometers now, 3.7 miles, 6 kilometers. And if they, shoot an artillery shell, can be $600 or $1,000 easily. And, a drone is 400 to 600. So that's really turned a lot of things around as far as the operational, tactical operations and such. And so they went through that. Then also we had some simulated target practice shooting that we could do, and we were able to crawl up into an Abrams and Bradley tank and so on. And those are really tight quarters. And the thing is, the soldiers are so enthusiastic about it, and they love their job. They love what they're doing. I appreciate what they do. The other thing that came up is I visited with General Roan, and he is bringing his leadership team over here. And I mentioned we could do some sort of a windshield tour. And this probably will not cover the entire county just because we're going to be on a 2-hour window perhaps.
Mhm.
But anyway, we're going to need to develop that. And probably the date they're looking at with his chief and staff is sometimes in April.
Okay.
And so we might want to bring a few other people into that discussion.
Mhm.
And then the other thing, I have to visit with one of the people that helps people that are departing from the military and looking for places to live and stay and job opportunities. And, that's something we have a lot of people already in Dickinson County that have military ties or retired. And, but one of the things we talk about in economic development is the need for workforce.
Mhm.
And so, we need some of those people to be here, and they're young enough that impacts the school system. So there's just a lot of things. And so we have some opportunity to have some discussions. with that, and probably should talk to Natalie and a few other stakeholders in the community.
Right.
So anyway, that's it.
Thank you, Ron.
I'd first off like to thank Sweet Creations for sending treats down to the county commission, to Dickinson County, for doing that. And secondly, I'd like to be thankful for the moisture we got. It's kind of nice to have some little bit of rain on our ground. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, my wife was shocked by that. She goes, what is that noise?
And a
I
little
said,
thunder.
that's called rain. We haven't had it in a while.
Yeah.
We have an opportunity for more.
Yes.
Even a chance of snow flurries.
Snow
I heard
flurries,
that too.
ice, yes.
No ice,
Just snow flurries, right?
So on my behalf, we had the gala for the Economic Development Corporation, or I should call it. The rebrand is Driving Dickinson County. That is official. So here forward, let's call it Driving Dickinson County. Really great event. We had a really good turnout. I think 216 people showed up was the final number I got. We had award ceremony. I thought it was an amazing event. I thought it was a great change of pace. I felt everyone was involved. I don't know how to put that better. It was a good group of people in that room too. It wasn't just the usual people that show up. It was a lot of participation. So I just want to thank the EDC, Driving Dickinson County for that. Lynn, you were there. I think the meal, the whole thing was good.
Oh, it was spectacular and a lot of positive energy, but also when you see what so many people are doing throughout the county and their particular part, and they were recognized by various awards or nominated. There's a lot of great things that we have to build on, but we have a lot of opportunity here, and we have a lot of people that are investing their time and their money in the county.
That was the message I tried to ring out, was the message the organization tried to ring out, that economic development is more or less developing people. So it's all of our job, was kind of the message we were trying to send out. We all play a part. I thought it was great. I thought it was great for the county. I thought it was great for our community, brought us together. I've seen a lot of Facebook posts after the fact of the awards, and they're getting a lot of reactions, and I thought that was really cool.
Yes.
That people were, I think we reinvigorated something there a little bit. So I'm really looking forward to see where that goes. That is the only official business I had last week. So no other reports. We'll go ahead and move on. No petitions or proclamations this week. We'll go ahead and offer public comment. If County Administrator Janelle Doctor will read the rules, please.
For the Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4317 and 75-4318A, as the elected board, the county commission is not allowed to meet or make any decisions without posting the meeting. They are only allowed to act on items on the agenda which they set. During their regular meeting, the county commission may allow for public comments on items not listed on the approved agenda. It is at the discretion of the county commission if they allow comments on agenda items. If you wish to provide comments, please come forward to the podium and state your name and address. If you are online, raise your hand and we will unmute you. Please state your name and address. Each person may speak for 3 minutes. The allotted time will start after the speaker has given his or her name and address. Public comment shall be addressed to the county commission only and not to the speaker or the audience. Only the county commission will be permitted to ask the speaker questions. The public comment period is not a back and forth discussion with the county commission. You should make your views and input known to them, but it is not a time to ask them questions. You should not expect them to respond to your comments. Comments may express support or agreement with the previous speakers, but in the interest of time, please do not repeat the same information. You may state something to the effect of your name and address and you agree with the previous speaker. It is important to maintain a respectful, non-threatening atmosphere for anyone who would like to speak. Please do not engage in such actions as cheering, booing, clapping, insults, threats, etc.
Thank you. All right, moving down to reports from county officers. We'll go back to County Administrator Janelle Doctor.
Commissioners, the CVN's change of value notices will be mailed out Friday. So if you have questions about that, I encourage you to reach out to the appraiser's office. If any of our citizens do, they're more than willing to go over them with you. We do have an open position in the sheriff's office for a records clerk. We now have an open position in IT for an IT technician position because, and I really don't want to say this, but I do. Congratulations to Alyssa Voss, who has accepted the state of Kansas Next Generation 911 Technical Director positions. So that's, it's an excellent position for her. She's going to do a great job for the state, and it's exciting that she is doing that, even though it is going to be a loss to us. We have plans in place, to handle the position that she has. So Public Works Department is replacing a structure in the 1300 block of Solomon Road. The contract with Reese Construction starts on March the 3rd. That means the contract starts on March the 3rd. We do not have a date when they'll be moving in to start closing the road to replace the bridge at 1100 Avenue. And Emergency Management will be hosting a Dickinson County Spotters class on March 19th at 7 p.m. They're at 624 North Marshall and Chapman. So, and that's all I have unless you have questions.
I believe we do. Thank
You
you.
had mentioned about the property tax being sent out, and I was just going to point out briefly, we had someone that had a concern that stopped in during the work study session, and it was about a cleanup on a property. But the other thing he mentioned, from what I understood, is he lives in Gary County barely and has property, but his mother has property in Dickinson County. And he commented how she pays less and, compared to Gary County. And I know that doesn't mean, well, as long as we're under Gary County, we're good. We still need to work hard to do what we can to contain the tax amount. But just to know that there's someone that lives in just a neighboring county that they can see the difference. He wasn't trying to give us a compliment, but he did.
And then I'd like to add a little bit to the tax situation. I was visited by some residents in the county in regard to taxes. This is tax time, or producers are having to file their taxes before 1st of March or so, and others are filing them also. But it was intangible tax question. And many had asked, well, I thought what Dickinson County had done away with the intangible tax. And Dickinson County, am I correct, did?
Yes.
But the townships,
Nope.
some of the townships,
All stopped too.
all the,
All to sign something. They all agreed.
But it's you're talking about the 2025 intangibles is what they're referring to.
right.
Yes.
Okay, so if all just recently signed, they were still in effect for this coming year.
The intangible taxes and in tax year 24. So this year you're doing tax year 25. They do not exist anymore.
They should not, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
But last year when they did file them, it was for 24. That's probably what they were.
So what's they're filing for 20?
Now we're getting them.
Because we're in 26 now.
They are still turning them in because some aren't aware, but I'm sending a letter back saying.
Yeah. Okay. There was a
in.
misunderstanding or something on tangible tax.
It's good to put out there though.
Right, but if
Yeah.
they have questions, have them contact the county clerk's office.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. This would be Liberty Township.
Yeah, but we did talk to all the townships.
Okay.
They did drop them off.
Lena gave me an opportunity here to talk about lowering our taxes, so I'm going to. I think what you just said is the whole idea. I think people are going to catch on to that. If we do as much as we can to lower our tax as much as we can, obviously we've got to pay for certain things. I think residents will recognize that. That's hopefully our plan, to increase our tax base by people wanting to move here. I think this gentleman might be a good example, but if we get that spread a little bit farther, even better.
And he retired from Fort Riley too.
Exactly.
And chose to come back here.
Which I think ties right into what you were talking about earlier with the general and this other individual that will meet with Natalie perhaps. Sorry, I got to beat up on it.
Yeah.
Anything else, gentlemen?
Nothing here.
Okay. Go down to notices. No county council today, so no report from county council. Notices and communications. County Clerk Jennifer Gayton.
So we received a flyer that the Dickinson County Recovery Court will be having a graduation celebration Wednesday, March 11th, 2026 at 3:30 p.m. at the Dickinson County Courthouse in Courtroom 2, located at 109 East First Street in Abilene.
I don't believe we have any other business today. Unless you guys want to
Just to
add.
mention that the EBZ board had a meetings, and it was just an annual meeting that we had earlier this morning.
That's a good point. We did do the annual meeting of PBZ board this morning. We reelected officers. Kenny Rawls will be the president. Lynn Peterson will be.
Ron Roller is my
Ron
VP.
Roller, I'm still, I already forgot. All right. Our VP, Janelle will be our secretary, and then we have 2 board members.
Three.
3.
2 were in attendance.
2 came.
Right, 2 came, yes, yeah.
I'm still learning. Any other announcements or discussion? Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Not quite full.
This isn't, I guess you'll send out when they have the
Yes.
ready?
I will have everything out there